Hello guys, so welcome to another video on Python strings at Blue Tech Empire Python tutorials. In this video, we are going to continue from where we ended in the last video. So if you haven't watched the last video, I'll advise you to watch it, where we looked at the strings, double quotes, single quotes, and triple quotes. We also looked at the index operator. So in this video, we are going to continue from there. We are going to be looking at the slice operator. So let's get directly into the video. All right, so now the slice operator, like we have explained, I'm going to explain that we still use all right, so for the slice operator we still use brackets. For example, if we have a string called text text equals to I love programming. Let's say we have a text like this. Now, with the index operator, for example, if we want to access P is at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's at the 7th index. So we write txt, like we learned from the last video. You can write 7 and you should see P, or you can say something like A equals to txt. Let's access the 8th character, 8, and we can now print a. So you can assign it to a variable before printing it, rather than, for the interactive prompt, if you don't assign it to a variable, it actually displays it out. So this normal coding. So that's the item at the 8th index. Remember, indexes start from 0, so you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you have R. So let's move to the next step. So the next step, we're going to look at what we call the slice operator. In the slice operator, you need to have two values within the brackets, 2 or 3. We're going to start with 2 separated by a colon. So let's say we want to extract from index 1, 0 to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say 6. All right, so let's extract from index 1 to 5 and see what happens. So let's say we are going to use txt, and you're going to say you want to start from index 0, you want to end at index 5. But take note at what happens. It returned I love. There's no E. So the last index is not included in the return string. Remember this. The last index is that index 5 will not be part of the string returned. The last index will not be part of the string returned. So in this case, we are saying we want to extract from 0 to 4. In this case, for example, txt 0, 6, we are saying we want to extract values or characters on the string from 0 to 5. It's going to return 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this case, we say we want to extract from 0 to 6. 6 is this character minus 1. So we have I love plus the space. In this other system, in this other case, we want to extract from 0 to 7. 7. Remember, the last character or the second item, or the eighth, the item we place at the second position, or we call it the last index we want, it's not included. So it's going to be I love P, because it did not include the character at index 8, which is R. You count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but we didn't include this character. So always know, each time you use the index operator, the last character or the last index you specify, the string at that position is not included. You are telling Python you want to stop at that index. It means Python should return characters till it reaches that index, but it should not return the character in that index. So for example, if you want to extract from the start to the end of the string, you can use 0 to, we know the end of the string is -1. Said I love programming, but take note of what happens. Since we can't, the last character is never returned, you see it returns programming. Now if you want to return the last character, you can use txt followed by of the len of txt. You know, the len of txt is an index one higher than the last index. For example, this character will have let's do this. Let's check the len of txt. You see it's 18. So if you say you want to start from 0 to 18, 18 is out of range, so it's going to give you 0 to 17. Or this this actually mean you want to take from, it's, if you say 018, you actually say you want to end at the 17 character, the 17 index, which is the last index of this string. Remember I said index count starts from 0, so this string is not going to have 18 index, it has 17. 18 is the length, but we don't have the 18 index. So if you write 018, you're still very well on track, because it's going to return you 0 to 17. So like you've seen, in order to have the last character on the string, if you don't know it, if you know it, just use one character above it. For example, if you know this string G, or the last string, for example, let's say we have the string str2 equals to hello. Now in this case, we can easily calculate the last index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We know the last index is at 4, so it's to extract this string completely. We can say str2 is equals to let's see, equal to 0 to, since we know 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we can say 5, because we know 5 is not part. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's going to return 0 to 4. It's always one less than the second item. So let's see, it said invalid syntax. Oh, sorry, we did not write let's use str3 is equals to str2. We had to put the string in front, so let's print str3 to see. All right, we extract. You may be wondering, what's the need of extracting a string? Remember I told you Python does not create duplicate strings. Let's see what I'm talking about. So let's say we have a equals to hello. If you don't understand this, you can check our video on I think mutability, immutability, and the garbage collector at or Python variables. I think Python variables will explain this in the video Python variables, so you can watch that. Let's say b equals to hello. Let's find the memory location of a, and let's find the memory location of b. Now you see A and B are located in the same memory location. Python created the object and stored the string hello in it. When you assign B to the same string, or when you attempted to create a new string with the same hello, Python just pointed you to the old memory location where it already had hello. So you see, you still have the same address. So these variables are actually pointing to the same memory location. Might be, say you want to create same variables but different memory location. You might have a reason, maybe some complex reason which we can't talk about now, but let's say you're going to say c equals to welcome. Now to create a new object not pointing to that same location, what you should type is, for example, we can say d equals to c from 0 to the end. So we can say from 0 to len c. See what's gonna happen. Sorry, where they say indices must be integers. So from 0, sorry, we had to use colon here. All right, let's now look at the memory location of C and D. IDC, IDD. All right, okay. All right, so here we see Python still let's see, Python still saved it in the same memory location. I don't know why. It's not supposed to be that way. Normally, if you want to copy This is a method of copying a string. Let's see again. Let me see A, B, C, D, E. Let's see for E. E equals to ID. Let's see this. Let's see C. E equals to C. Yeah. Let's print E. Welcome. Let's check IDE. All right, Python still uses the same address, but normally it's supposed to be a copy of the previous address. Or let me see, E equals to C, this, extract this. Well, Python still uses the same memory address, but what we do is we can use the index operator to make a copy of a string, make a real copy of a string. That's one of the uses of the index operator. I don't know why it still uses the same memory address, but I believe maybe there's something I'm not doing correctly. But usually we use the index operator to copy a string. And I did something here. If you say, if you have a string, for example, str1 equals to um, Python is cool, for example, Python is cool. Now, if you have a string like this and you want to say you want to capture index 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we should say 0 to 6 because we want to take 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to use 6. Let's capture str1 0 with the slice operator to 6. Now we have Python. Okay, if we want to extract now again, we want to extract, let's say 0 from the start to 6. Now Python has a shortcut for extracting from the start. You can just leave that position empty and you use 6. Yeah. So you can leave, once you leave this position empty, Python knows it's 0. As you can see, we omitted 0. Python automatically knows it's 0. So it still extracts from 0 to 6. Okay, let's say we want to extract, we have this string and we want to extract, now we want to extract from 6, 7. We want to extract from 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 because the last index is 13. So we are going to use 14. Let's say we want to extract from 7 to 14. You see, it gives us is cool. Now, Python has a shortcut for the n. Now, we don't need to calculate the n anymore because Python has a shortcut for the n. If you leave this empty, Python is going to extract to the n. Do you understand? So let's say if we leave this empty for, let's go 2 place back. Let's say we want to start from 5 and we leave it empty. Python is going to extract from 5 right up to the n. So instead of trying to calculate the n, maybe by writing len str1, you can leave Python, or by using negative, we can't even use -1. This is the best method we can use, or maybe we write the len like we did physically like this. What was the len? 14. Yes, either we do this, but this is sometimes very inconvenient, especially if the string is coming from a user and we can't do all these calculations. The best way to do is just to leave it empty, and Python is going to understand you want to go till the end. Now, if you want to extract a string from the start to the end, you can allow both places to be empty. So we can say str2 should be equal to a copy of str1. In this case, we are going to allow this empty. So Python knows we want to talk about the start because we did not provide the start, and Python knows we are talking about the end because we did not provide the end. So see now, if you print let's print str2, print str2. Now you see we have Python is cool. All right, so we now have the next. Okay, now let's look at how to slice using gaps. For example, we still have str2 equals to and we have some fun, and let's say str2. Can we have some fun? Now let's say if we want to extract from the first right up to the last, we're gonna use str2. We're gonna say we're gonna want to start from the first. Yes, we can say 0, but we want to end at the last. So let's just say we want to end at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's end at the end. So len str2. I just want to place it, but let's calculate it. Let's calculate it. What's len str2? It's 21. So we can say str2. We want to extract from the beginning to the end. 21, yeah, because we can use 21 because normally the last index is 20, because we start from 0. Okay, so 21, let's see, it gives us, yeah, it extracts everything. Now let's say we want to skip one character at a time. What do we do? For example, we want to extract C N W space A. We can use a third proper option, or a third property, or a third value, which is normally we call it the step. Initially this is equal to 1. Here is the full slice operator specification. You can have 3 items: the start index, the end index, and the step. Now the step is usually 1, but we can change the step to 2. So Python skips 1. For example, you see it went from car, it skipped to N, it skipped to W, it skipped to space, it skipped to A, it skipped to E, it skipped to S, it skipped to M, space, it skipped to U, and it skipped to exclamation. So we can even make say 3. So you see this time it skips 2, or it skips to 3, the third position, every third position. So you see it starts from here, 1, 2, it enters space, 1, 2, enter space, 1, 2, it reaches V, 1, 2, it reaches S, 1, 2, it reaches E, 1, 2, it reaches F, 1, 2, and so run and so forth. So we can see those are the different methods of doing that. So let's look at another one. Let's say we want to go 4 places. All right, so I'm just trying to show you can also use the a step to increase the amount of jumps. You understand? By default, step is usually 1. So if you leave step empty, Python knows it's 1. So here, if you want to extract from the beginning to the end at steps of 2 or at steps of 1, we can write like this, and Python knows. What if you want steps of 2? We use we left the beginning empty, we left the end empty, and we provided a step. So Python knows it's from the beginning to the end, and here we go. So very convenient if you want to provide gaps in your extraction. That's very good. It can come in handy sometimes, but usually it's scarce for strings to have a gap more than 1. I just want to show you there's something like a step where you can provide the gaps or the jumps. All right, so let's move ahead. Now, don't forget you can also use negative values for index. For example, we have a string like this. Can we have some fun? str2. Let's say now we want to extract from, we want to reverse the string, or in fact, let's start first with negative indexes. Now if we want to start from the beginning, all right, so let's say we have file name equals to my music.mp4. Now let's have file name 2 equals to project.mp3. Now we know all our file names end with .mp, end with a dot followed by the extension. Now, what of if we are writing a file which needs to extract? Let's say we have a list of items. I will show you that example. What if we are writing a file and need to extract these items and but discard the extension? Discard the extension. We can simply say we want to extract from the beginning, then right up to 1, 2, 3, 4. It should end at negative 4 places from the left. In that case, it's easy. You're just gonna write file name. Start from the beginning. We can put 0 or we leave it empty right up to negative 4. You know it's not going to include the negative fourth position. Here is negative 1, 2, 3, and this is 4. So it's not going to include the negative fourth position as you see. So it's going to be negative 4. We know it's going to end here because this is doesn't always include the last index. So let's try this and see what it returns. You see it returns my music. So you can use negative indexes or negative indices. Very important to know you can use negative indices. I'm going to show you can also use negative steps, but let's start with negative indices. So let's say we want to extract from file name 2. We can also extract from 0 to, yeah. So you see now we have discarded the decimal the extension of the file, and you can move even further if you want, but in this case it doesn't make sense. You see, approach, you can go right up to even the 8th index. You see pro, so you can go right up to the end, but there's no need. I just want to show you can use negative index. So Python will move from the start right up to the negative 8 index, which is j. So it returns proj. So you know it moves from the start right up to the negative. Remember the last item is negative 1, then this negative 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It reaches at j, and it does not normally include the index we specify at the end, so you're going to return pro. So I'm just showing you how you can do. Now let's say rather we want to reverse the string starting from negative 1 right up to negative 1 is the first, right up to in fact, let's say we want to extract the extension of this file name. We are going to start from 0, 1, 2, 3. So let's look for a way to extract the we can say start from negative 4 right up to the end. Do you see? We can say if you want to extract the extension of this, we can say it should start from negative 4 right up to the end. You know the end we cannot specify to tell Python to go to the end, you just leave it empty. So look, extract dot mp3. If we don't want the dot, we can just say negative 3 right up to the end, and we have mp3. We can do same for file, and we have mp4. You see, we said start from negative 3, so it starts from here, then now it moves to the end. So the first value can also be negative, as you say it starts from, if you say start from negative let's say negative, this negative 0, you can even start from anyone, but in this case it doesn't make sense. So you see, it started from negative 5. Here is negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. T. It started from here and it ended at here. So I just want you to see that's very possible. So it started from here and it ended here. So it's possible. Now let's see a negative step in play. Remember, you can also have another file name. Let's say file name 3 equals to image.jpg. Now in this case, if you want to extract the extension, you see you have to start from negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. We have to start from negative 4. So we're going to say file name 3, and we extract from negative 4 right up to the end of the string. So we leave it empty. Yeah. So JPEG. I just want to show you that as possible. All right. So now let's say we want to reverse the string. We want to reverse the string by, or let's say we want to start from the last right up to the let's say we want to reverse this string normally, or let's first look at a simple example. We want to start from the last item and extracting from the last item right up to the dot in reverse order. So we are going to say file name, file name 3. Okay, let's use this image.jpg. Let's extract from, or let us use this same one, image 2. Now take a note, look at file name 2. All right, so let's extract from -1, that's the last item, yes, to negative um j. Let's say negative j, or let's just put a random number. Let's say -6. Let's see what happens. Oh, nothing happened. Why? All right, so Python, when we say -1 to -6, Python will not automatically go backward. Why? Because like I told you, the step is +1. So Python starts from -1 and it moves ahead. It doesn't go behind because the step is -1. So you must use a negative step if you want it to move backward. So in this case now, you see Python started from from 3, he went to P, he went to M, he went to dot, he went to T. You see, so like I said, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Like I told you, the last index is not always included, so it does not go right down to -6. It ends at -5 because we specified -6 as the end. Now, what if we want to reach the end? We want to completely reverse the string. In this case, instead of specifying the negative index as the stop, we can just leave it empty. We are trying to tell Python start from -1 to wherever the end of the string is, but move backward. So when we talk about the end, we are talking about this end. So let's see what Python will do. Yeah, it reversed the string completely. Project. So here is a way of reversing a string. For example, if you have a string name equals to Emmanuel, you can easily reverse it by saying name. You start from -1 and you move to the end, but move to indexes of 1, -1, and you're going to get a reversed string. So this is a trick you can use. You can also move through indexes of 2, pick out only stuffs of 2, pick up pick out the characters in gaps or jumps of 2. So that's the best way you can do this. Very convenient to use the string index or slice operator. You can take it backward, forward, or whatever. You can use negative values both for the start index. You can use negative values for the end index, and you can use negative values for the gap in case you want to pick out the stuff in reverse order. You can even use negative values even for, you can even say name, we start from maybe 0, let's say 0, 0, and we can even still start from 0 and end maybe at, let's say 4. If we do like this, what is going to start from 0 but it's going to move backward, so nothing is going to be extracted. So if we want to move backward, we must start from a higher index like 5, then we move now to a lower index like let's say 0, but since we are moving backward by 1, it's going to reverse only the first, let's say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to take from U, then it moves backward right up to E. So look at what it returns, U, N, A, M. And so you can use all these smaller tricks to extract stuff. You see this one starts from 5, but since the step is backward, you move backward to the start rather than forward to the start. If this thing was 1, it will see it will move forward. It moves from U to the end, but it's backward when we do this, so it moves backward, so to the other end. So this means the end, whatever. It doesn't mean the end in front or backward. It depends on the step. So the end actually depends on the step. If you allow Python to specify the end, that end can be the front, it can be the end, depending it can be the back, depending on the step, the sign of the step. If the step is positive, the n is in front. If the step is negative, then you're talking at the n is at the start. So just those are just things you should take note about. So look at this example. We have print text, print stuff. So we've done this. So we print text 510. It starts from the fifth index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It ends at the 14th position because we specified 15. So you see 14th position, the G. Now here we said print text start from 0 is the same. If you omit this, it's still 0, 15. Print 421 start from 4th end at the 20th. So it starts from 4th end at the 20th. Start from here, we say print text 0. We did not specify, so it's 0. At the end, we did not specify, so it means the end. And remember, the step is plus 1. So it's a positive step, which means it goes in front. So this case, it just prints everything. Here we have 0, 21, 2. Take note of this. It starts from 0, it moves to 20, the 20th index because we specified 21, and it ends at, it takes a step of 2. So it jumps every one character. Now, here it jumps every 3 character. I think every 3 characters because we use step of 4. Here we start from -21. Yeah, I think -21 should be somewhere around here, E. Then we say it should end at -4, so it's going to move ahead right up to 0, 1, -1, -2, on to M, or this first M, because it's not going to have the last index. So those are just some few examples I wanted to see. So, and let's see the last example here. So look at some examples. Country 0 is N, country 1 is I, country 2, yeah, country -1 is A, the last index, country -2, the last index -1, which is I. Then country -7 should be the first index, that's -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -6, -7, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -7. So you see, country 1, 5 will extract from 1 to 5, which will give us I to 4, the index 4. Country 1, 4 will give us from 1 to index 3. You see, this is IG. This one will give us from 1 to index 2, which is IG. This one will give us from the start to index 5, which is Nigeria. And this country starts to the 7 index because we did not specify the start. It's going to be 0. So right up to the 6th index because we said 7. So 6th index is 0. Let's see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to reduce Nigeria, that's with 2A. And this one is start to end. It's going to extract everything. We extract characters from 0 to 6 and return the string Nigeria. Note that the first value defaults to 0 and the second defaults to the last index, like we said, plus 1. The last index plus 1. Yeah, which is, like I said, if this string is 20 characters long, then that's the 20th index because index starts from 0, so it's going to be the last index plus 1 will be the 20th index because the last index is actually 19. So -5 starts from -5 and it ends at the 6th index. So here we have negative, negative. Here we have start from 0, move to the end at the 6th index, then 6. I say 6 because it's not going to include the 7. So then make steps of 2. So this is known as the slice operator. Yeah. So while plus, like we saw earlier, is known as the concatenation operator to merge two strings together, and star is known as the repetition operator to duplicate a piece of string. So here we see an example: hello to text blue tech empire. You can concatenate these strings together by using plus, and you have hello, welcome to blue tech empire. Remember, these spaces here are important because they help to, if you join it without spaces, everything is going to be clumped together. So this space here, this is it. This space here, this is it. This, all right, then you have blue tech empire. Then text 4 is equals to text 1 plus text 2. You can also assign the concatenated strings to a variable and print out the variable. Now here is the repetition operator. Text 1 times 3 means we want to repeat text 1 3 times. You see we have hello, hello, hello. Text 2 times 2 means we want to repeat it a number of times. And text 5 equals to text 3 times 3, you see. So we repeated it 3 times and there's it. So there we go. So very simple for you to understand, and you can see in the next video we are going to be looking at Python list. But I want to show you some methods. Let we say we have the string name equals to um, Emmanuel. Now I want you to know, if you want to take convert these strings to upper, you can use let's say a equals to name dot upper. Yeah, let's print a. You see it's in uppercase now. Say we have a string name2 equals to um, all right. Let's say we have this. You can say, or let's say we have this David. All right. We can say name b equals to name2 dot lower. We are going to convert it to lowercase. Print b. All right. So I just want to show you that, and you can also use capitalize to make the first. Let's say we have a name 3 equals to Andrew 11, and you say you want to like capitalize it, you want to arrange it such that every first letter is a capital letter. We can say C should be equals to name 3 lies. We are going to look at the different string methods later when we look at objects, but I'm just trying to show you the important. So you see it capitalizes the first letter of every string, just A. So now we can look at another one. We can count the number of a particular character. For example, how many times does M occur in my name? So let's print name. Let's see how many times M. So let us say name dot count M. So you see M is present in Emmanuel twice. We can count other stuff like if we have a string, say text equals to ASDKFF. We can find how many times FF exists in this string. Not even FF. Let's say we have FFW. So you can also find the number of times a sequence of characters exists. For example, let's say count. No, let's say txt dot count. Let's dot count. Let's say FF. We want to find FFW. You see it exists 3 times. This is the first time. Here is the second time, and here is the third time. You can find how many times a particular sequence of string. For example, you may want to look at how many times and text equals to I love to sleep and also to eat, and finally to eat. You can now check text dot count and you see we have I love to sleep and also to read. So we have I love to sleep and also to read, and we have two n. So I just wanted to show you that. So you can have lower, upper, and capitalize, and you can even have replace. Let's say we want to replace and in this string to let's say text 2 equals to, we want to replace all and in text 2 to and short form of and. So we can say is equals to txt dot replace all and with and. Let's see. Let's print out text2. I love, you see, it replace all and with n, but it returned the new string. Text1 still has n, so that's why we had to store it in text2. It returns the new string into text2. And we can also, if we want, we can also return and replace all e with a. Let's see. We can also replace characters too. Let's say we replace all e with a. Let's say text2. There we go. I love her to sleep. So you see, replace all e with a. So that's just those are some examples um of characters. You can also use the ends with stuff. For example, you can have a file called f1 equals to name dot txt. F1 equals to name dot txt. F2 equals to image dot png. See, if you write does f1 dot ends, it's going to return a boolean ends with. You're trying to ask dot f1 ends with dot text, for example, dot txt. Let's see. Sorry, it ends. Oh, it's f1. Sorry. Yes, it ends with .txt. What of does it end with .tt? No. What of f2? Does f2 end with .png? I think yes. png. Yes. Does it end with .pn? No. So you can check if you may be processing some file names and you want to extract only those that end with .text. So you can use this to check. So those are just a few methods of string. If you want to see all the methods available in string, you can type help str. You're going to see them, but we are going to learn all of them later. Here are the methods, and they start from here. Case fold, count, like we saw, ends with. This ends with. We saw ends with up here. Ends with, yeah. So you can have a couple of them, and you can also use dir str to check stuffs. So you see here are them upper, we have lower. Help will explain to you how they work. This replace, find, but we are going to learn all these methods later. So this is the end of this video, and see you later on. Thank you. All right.